going on today, guys? It is Sam, better known as Samito. Welcome back to the channel today for an alleged patch coming out from Blizzard this week. It's been all over Reddit and Twitter, and I'm going to cover it today because I think there's some credibility to it based on what they said they were looking at. So this patch may or may not come to live, but we'll see if it actually ends up doing it. So if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I love having you guys around. Streams are the most educational streams I want to try to give you guys on this YouTube channel every weekday morning, covering Overwatch. We'll be covering Warzone 2. It's going to be great. So come through. I'd really appreciate the support. And if you guys want to get personally coached by me personally and go to member coaching sessions, click that join button down below. Become one of the shitters today. It's a lot of fun. You get some emotes in chat, a role in my Discord, and access to the member coaching VODs, which will be coming up later. So here we go. Let's talk a little bit about these alleged patch notes, which I think they probably are true, but I have no way to confirm that. So let's take that with a grain of salt. So let's start off with Sombra. Her hack, ability lockout duration reduced from 1.75 to 1.5 seconds. Hacked enemies are no longer valid targets for hacking during the duration of the effect. So basically, you can't like perma-hack somebody like while they're hacked because they won't be able to stop you or whatever it may be. You just can't keep somebody perma-hacked. And I think this really helps supports not get absolutely blown up and destroyed. And hacked damage multiplier has been reduced from 40 to 25%. Thank God on that one. I mean, the second that we saw that in 2021, we could have told you it was going to be broken, right? You know, I think you can go back and look at the VOD where Jeff Goodman first announced the hero, who is no longer at Blizzard. They actually announced his replacement. I forget the guy's name. I think his name's Alec. The other day. So we'll see how Alec can do. This is the first patch under Alec, I believe. And so, yeah, we all knew that Sombra was going to be broken. It's good to see this get addressed pretty quickly. So I think overall this will be a good change, but I still think Sombra will be really, really good. I don't think this does much to the character. I think it just tunes her down a little bit. I don't think it'll kill the character at all. So to all you backlines who don't like being hacked, I'm sorry, this will help you, but I don't think this is going to get rid of the hero altogether, especially since they have not changed the tech where you can come out of invis as you hack somebody and instantly like blow someone up. So, and now here's where it gets really sad, man. And I think the devs really missed the mark on this one. I think a lot of the Genji players at home are going to be upset about this, and I think rightfully so. I think Genji should have been given more of a slap on the wrist and wait for Kiriko to come out. So Genji maximum ammo reduced from 30 to 24, like the old days, right? And shuriken damage has been reduced from 29 to 27. So Genji, who already was a pea shooter, and the main reason he was so good was that he could clean up the fights very well, has now been nerfed pretty hard. My guess is that really ruins the hero's ability to be played, especially with Sojourn not being touched in this patch, who is the best DPS in the game on the previous patch, and now, without a doubt, going to be the best one on this one as well. I'm really not a fan of this, man. I was hoping that we'd learn our lesson about Genji in these metas. Like, Genji has never been the one forcing these metas, ever. Like, you know, he just, maybe in Season 1, but, you know, if you look at the dive metas and you look at what happened over time, Tracer outshined him forever. Sombra, Doomfist even, like, he was just such a weak character, and he was never the reason why he was so strong in a lot of these metas. Now, if the big problem is with Nano Blade, then you should make it so that Nano can't damage boost Blade. This is a big gripe that I had too, right? Where it's like, okay, why are we nerfing Dry Blade, making Genji himself individually almost unplayable to use because Blade does so little damage, when the problem is the nano, the problem is the damage boost. Just make it so you can't damage boost the Blade, but increase the base damage back to where it originally was in the game, so solo Genji players don't suffer, right? Because the hero's very hard to play, especially with this little damage compared to the rest of the cast, man. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think Genji's in the tombstone already. I think Genji went from like an A tier, S tier pick to probably like a B or C tier pick. I think that he is going to really struggle to do his job. And I really wish we had waited just one more week before we nerfed Genji to see what was going to happen with Kiriko, because Lucio Kiriko, I think, is going to be hard meta at this point. Kiriko is going to be very strong, for those of you who are wondering. I think I'm doubling down on that take. I think she's going to dominate the meta in the Overwatch League, especially for the Grand Finals. Her ultimate is insanely powerful. So, you know, I think that this is a disappointing jump, a little bit of a jump in the gun on Genji here. So I'm sad, but we'll see if it ends up happening. I think it will, though, if I had to guess. Now, Zarya, barrier duration reduced from 2.5 to 2 seconds. I think that's a good change. I've been mistiming bubbles. It's very clear that we underestimated how powerful off tanks could be, especially heroes like Zarya and Diva, who are the two probably strongest tanks in the game right now. Show some love to my boy Ryan. Show some love to my boy Winston. But yeah, no. And Doomfist, don't get me started on Doom. Man, geez Louise, worst hero in the game, Doomfist, I think. I think just needs some changes somehow, some way. But yeah, I think Zarya very clearly is just so easy to play while putting out incredible amounts of damage. So decreasing the bubble duration from 2.5 to 2 seconds definitely will allow her to be a little bit more punishable. They also decided to increase the barrier cooldown from 10 seconds to 11 seconds. So she's going to be able to put out less bubbles that last a little bit less long. And I think that's a very good change. I think on push maps, she'll still be incredibly strong. On most maps, she'll be incredibly strong. But hopefully this will open up the tank pool a little bit and diversify it and allow more hero picks to come out, because right now, especially the higher up you go in the ranks, it's like, okay, I need to play Zarya. I can't play, like Doomfist has like a third of the damage Zarya can put out. It's not even close. So she just bubble everything, it's basically unplayable. You got to play Zarya. So I'm glad to see that change. I think that one is a good one. Now moving on, excuse me, still coming off my lung inflammation, my throat inflammation, whatever the hell that was. Steroids, man, they do wonders. Diva. Fusion Canon spread increased from 3.5 to 3.75. So basically, they had tightened the spread of her shots, which made it really easy to just immediately blow somebody up, which was just way, way, way too strong, right? Like Diva could win almost any 1v1 in the game just by like taking the duel, right, on any isolated target, and it was just definitely way too good, especially if you were snowballing the fight. So I think that definitely is a nerf that probably needed to happen, especially if you look at heroes like Ryan and Winston that just can't do that, right? So you give Diva the mobility of a main tank and the tankiness of a main tank with the DPS potential of a DPS. The only reason she wasn't hard meta is because Zarya was even better, right? So it's just very, very funny how the Diva Zarya interaction kind of works, because Zarya would just end up farming her, and then boosters impact damage down from 25 to 15. Probably also needed to happen, right? Basically, whenever you flew into somebody and impacted them while using your boosters, you were doing 25 damage, and that could really, really make it just so free to burst down the squishies in the 1v1, kind of like we talked about, guys, right? So what do we expect from this patch? I think for the most part, it looks good. I think the Sombra nerfs definitely needed to happen. I really think they jumped the gun on Genji. Again, I wish we had learned our lesson from Overwatch 1 about Genji. The game is better when Genji is played. I talk about this a lot, where Genji is a staple of Overwatch in that he's got very high cooldowns that aren't super high impact. They're only great at cleaning people up, and he's got low damage output compared to like a lot of the burst heroes in the game, right? If Genji is neutral or viable in the meta, to me, that means the game is in a neutral spot. That's an indicator that says, hey, the flow of cooldowns, mechanics, the tempo of the game, all of these things are in a good spot right now, right? And you have to excuse me because, sorry guys, it is what it is. But it's a great indicator that the game is in a great spot. So, I'm going to pause. Apologies, everybody. I had to, well, just kidding. I'm not back yet. Oh, no, we're good. Okay. So, I had to clear the throat. Apologies about that. But yeah, no, so it's a great indicator that the game is in a good spot, because Genji's neutral into pretty much every hero, right? It's all about how you use the cooldowns into Genji, right? And he's got tons of counters with beams like Zarya, Moira, Winston, so many things in the game that can just like blow up a Genji, and it's all about how you play. And so when the game's in a point where that exchange of cooldowns is fair between a lot of different heroes, I think that the game's in a good spot, especially with Sojourn somehow flying under the radar here, who was already much better than Genji was in ranked, and so I think Sombra and Sojourn are, I think, the two best heroes on this patch right now, and Sombra gets a slap on the wrist, Genji gets the graveyard, and Sojourn just somehow, some way flies right under the radar, while being one of the strongest heroes in the game, maybe the strongest hero in the game. I think Zarya probably is this patch, but the next patch is going to be Kiriko, but I really wish that, Genji was given one more chance before he got this massive, massive nerf, which will definitely, this will affect a lot for Genji. Like, this will be noticeable. So I'm sorry to all you Genji mains out there, but this is the alleged patch. I'm not sure if it's going to come out or not. My guess is it will, because it just seems like something they've been talking about, right? And it's been all over Reddit. So who knows, man? Who knows? But if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Click on screen now to check out the previous video, which was a Sojourn hacker, the first Overwatch 2 hacker that we found, guys. So hacker hunts are back, patch reviews are back, coaching is back. We're back. I'm excited, guys. Let's hit Overwatch 2 hard. Nothing but love to you guys at home, and I will see you guys on the stream today here in about, well, I guess this is the morning, so here in about 10 minutes. So yeah, thank you guys so much. See you later. Peace out.